mental health and everything, and then plus with this. And I was like, I really want to do a show. And he was like, well, maybe, you know.
So you haven't even made the decision to do a show until
January. Cool. So when we look at it, it's all said and done, it'll be like a 30-something week prep.
Jesus.
And yeah. And
purposeful, obviously.
Yeah. Right. And then, but like, I would say when it really kicked it in gear was like, cause I was still like having like my free meal, right, you know, my whatever and stuff like that. And smashing a pizza and stuff like that. When it really kicked in gear was when I did the Nashville Fit Show Forum, and they did like a workshop.
Okay.
And I went to it, and I thought that everyone in there was going to be like ripped and, you know, all this stuff, whatever. And everyone was in their off season. Mm-hmm. So I'm still like, you know, tapering down. They're not even really starting yet, right, you know? And so I went up there. I was like, you know what? Like, this is really cool. Like, I feel good about this. I feel like we're kind of all like in this together. And, you know, it was just a cool sight to see. And so it really led me down a good path. So I'm glad that Whitney puts that on, you know, every year, and she does that a couple times throughout the year. And so we did that, and that was like in April, so the beginning of April.
Okay, I love that. I mean, Whitney does a great job of the bodybuilding, just, you know, to make that, you know, make that singular. She does a great job with. It already has a great community, and she does a great job.
And some of the people knew me in there, and that was cool. And they're like, oh, like, and I listen to your podcast. I'm like, oh, it's so nice to meet you. And we all have been friends since then. Awesome. They've bought Fight, you know, Energy, which I'm drinking now. That's awesome. In my Fight slush. And then, you know, and then they bought shirts, and like, so it was a good thing marketing wise, like, you know, for like Daily Fitness, but it was a good thing for me mentally.
Yeah. It makes it just, you know, I always talk to people on a mindset level of like, you know, this whole journey, whatever you're doing, whether it's fitness, bodybuilding, or whatever, it sucks. It sucks regardless. Like the whole just having to prep and having to diet and doing all this.
Yeah.
But it sucks less when you got other people that it's sucking with. You're like, hey, this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
For sure. And I definitely feel like by us like starting, you know, this last July, like it has been like a healthy approach. Yeah. You know what I mean? It has been not like because, you know, with strongman, I would lose weight like over a week or two, you know, whatever. And like
dangerous.
And and I mean, like I would clean stuff up a little bit closer to time, but I still was like doing like hard cuts and things like that. So this has been, not that I won't do a little bit of that for this, but it's totally different.
Right. So of the 7,000 weeks that you've been in prep, what do you think the hardest, like what's one of the hardest like obstacles you've had today?
One of the hardest obstacles
today. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think.
Like some people, it's, you know, I'm a food guy, so I can already say that a problem for me would be like not on Sundays not having that slice of pizza or, you know.
So once I decided to stop with all of that nonsense because I was working so hard, and I didn't want to, you know, and I was like, if to work this hard and then to have that moment in the night where it's like, oh, I got to eat that or whatever. Like, well, the positive side is I really worked on my emotional eating with all of this because like people would agitate me and I'd be like, cool, I'm going to go eat some chocolate or like, you know, oh, they're so super annoying. So I'm going to go eat. Like, so I would like, it really helped me on that. But the hardest thing I would say is been dealing with, everyone else around me with like how they have been responding to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I think that everyone means well. And I know that some people really are, you know, just really sweet, you know, really sweet and meaningful in everything, you know. But the thing is, it's hard is that like I've loved my body throughout. So like I love my body in my, you know, all these like transformation videos I put up and these pictures and whatever. Like, and I didn't see anything wrong with my body then. You know, and I worked hard for that body too. Right. So it's not any different that like I haven't worked hard for this as well. We may have taken the intensity up, and now it's just that like the food is working with me and my body's kind of working for me.
Right.
You know, so I just feel like, I don't know if that makes sense.
A lot of backlash. Not necessarily backlash, but
it was more just like just sassy comments and stuff. And then I don't know. And a lot of times it never used to bother me, but it's one of those things where it's like, look, when you see someone working hard and fighting for what they want, there's no need to comment like a negative type of comment or to whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that that's just been kind of a like more annoyance, I guess.
Yeah, it's the crab in the bucket mentality. You know, you put a
Yeah.
bunch of crabs in a bucket and one of them starts to get out and they all drag
Mhm.
each other down. It's kind of like, and it's unfortunate for the world that we kind of live in when some individuals see other individuals like, hey, I'm going to try and do this thing. It's like, you can't do it. It's impossible. Sorry. Yeah.
Right.
Or, oh, no, you can't do it. You'll never look that good or blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah. Respectfully speaking, just they can all really just stop talking,
Yeah, for sure. And again, that's how I usually approach it. So I guess for me, it's like, I guess it's more like when you're tired and when you're, and that may be the biggest like physical thing.
Yeah.
Like not even the food. Cause like I said, I have done things before where I've ate like way less than what I'm having now because I was put on stuff from coaches before, like back in the day, and never went out and did anything, didn't have balanced lifestyle, didn't go do anything, and like look at everything I've just done in the past couple of weeks. Like I went to Kevin Hart and got to, do that. And that was special. And like go to California. And like I've gotten to come out and like I've been very intentional with this. So I wanted to prove to myself that I wouldn't just like sit up in my room alone and like, and hello.
Sorry.
And you're good. And I wouldn't like sit alone in my room and just eat my food. And like, that's all I do.
Right. Is that normally the person that you are? Are you naturally like introverted versus extroverted or?
No,
I mean, obviously you're an outward facing.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah. But. So I definitely, because I'm always around people and stuff like that, like I love to just like go to the movies and like sit, by myself.
You're a weirdo. There's many of you weirdos, man. There's my twin brother's the same way. He's like, man, I just go to the movies by myself. I'm like, dude, I couldn't.
Yeah.
No way I'd do that.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I used to go eat by myself. I used to do all those things. Like, it didn't bother me like that. Like, I was never like, oh, is someone gonna like look at me because I'm like by myself. It was more of like
it's a bothersome thing. I just like hanging out with people.
I get that. But it's exhausting when it depends on the type of person. Okay. So like where I'm at right now with my journey, it is one of those where like there's only a few select people that I can hang out with and I feel like I can like be myself. Right. When there's other people who are like constantly needing something from me and they may not even realize it.
Right.
But like I don't know, and so that's kind of hard because it's like that. I don't want to have to go through it. It's kind of like when I did do like the dating apps and stuff like that. It was like, which was stupid. Don't do them. Not you, but like everyone else.
I was gonna say I don't think I should either.
Yeah,
I think I'm out on this.
I think you're good on that one, but no, it was more of it was like having to explain myself every day, and then like, oh well, that's amazing. Like, what got you into that? It's like. All right, well, I mean, like, you know what I mean? There's no short answer.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, well, like, you're on this journey. It's like, yeah, but like also I was a strong woman and I really did amazing things. And like, so it's just like I would rather be in person with them and kind of talk it out, but like not have to do that like all the time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So that's kind of like a hard thing for me. So when I do have some friends that can just be like, chill and whatever,
hang out, sit there, we can stay silent the whole time, it doesn't matter.
I mean, whatever, or just make me laugh or something like that's cool too.
So my next question is just from sheer curiosity, like you're 2 weeks out from a show, so you're knee deep in prep with this. With the prep of a bodybuilding show versus a prep for, let's call it a strongman competition, what are like, do you like one better than the other, or is it more of like they kind of just both? Is it apples and oranges, or is it like, do you like this better than this? Like, man, what is that?
It is so different. I mean, it was like the thing is the workouts are hard. I mean, strongman was hard. These workouts are hard, but these are more of a mental thing. Like with strongman, I was like, man, like let's go Sundays, let's like lift, whatever. Let's like whatever. It just, it was so different. This is like roll out of bed. If you don't get up out of bed right now, you don't have enough time to get your cardio in, then it's gonna set your whole day up for not success. You know what I mean? And it's like it's more of that. Like I'm on so much more of a schedule now, and I love schedules. And so it's like that's great. And then with the prep of like you have to weigh in for strongman. So it's weird with this. I don't have a weight goal,
right?
But we have a weight goal. For like my coach gave me.
Is there I don't think they're for wellness. There's no weight yet.
No.
There's no
It's
weight
just
classes.
heights. So you just go on your height. So I mean, literally, you could be whatever weight.
Yeah.
It's just when you're trying to figure out like what weight determines the correct body fat that you should be at. Like we're
Right.
just kind of guessing, and that's what's exciting because like strongman, the very first competition I ever did, I literally didn't know about it till the week of, and like didn't even prep. I mean, we went to one workout, kind of prep through
Right.
things, just went up in there and won. And that was really cool. It was exciting.
Yeah.
This knowing about it for so long, and like, because I knew at the last show when I went to go see Whitney's show last year, or the year before, whatever, it was like in August or something, and I had decided, I was like, I'm doing
The
this.
bug got you.
Like, yeah, but it wasn't until January that I told anybody or that
Yeah.
I even thought or whatever. Because honestly, my body has given me such backlash my whole life that like I didn't know how I could shape out. I knew I had a lot of muscle. I've always said that. I've always said, even with my stomach as big, quote unquote, as it's looked or whatever, I've always said, like, I got the strongest core. Like, you want to do some planks? Like,
Right.
let's do it. Like, like I will sweep you on your table.
You got
Like,
to, yeah.
yeah. Like,
Yeah,
and I've always prided myself in being strong, just being supernatural in that respect. And that's why I think everyone's always been kind of shook by that.
Right.
So yeah, so I don't know. So this one is just so much more mental, but physically, even with my injuries, I'm just all I say is like I pray every morning when I go on the stairs, and I sit there and I say, like, Lord, please help me for with my leg. Please, like, give me the strength to make it through this workout.
Yeah.
And keep me healthy.
Yeah.
So that is what I do every day.
They're
That's the
both
priority.
Yeah, they're both. So the workouts part is hard. I think the part that I like about it the most is the mental side of it. Like you've got to be, you're on the whole time. Granted, I've never done, even when I was racing professionally, I didn't stick to a diet. I was just like, I'm going to live life.
Right.
Which is silly. But I think the precision of the programming of bodybuilding teaches you something well beyond, that's food included. That's,
And strongman taught me to have kind of a balance too, because before I was so on my own, not even with a coach telling me, but like, I mean, like, here's the thing. I sat with so my friend told me, he said this like a month or two ago or whenever, he was like, or maybe it was a few months back. He said, Danny, I don't understand. He was like, when we went on, like we had gone out like years ago, and he was like, you were on a meal plan then. Because you told me, like, we were at dinner and you said, hey, like, I'm doing strongman and whatever, like, I'm on this meal plan, but like, I can have this burger, whatever. It's my fun night, stuff like that. So it's just so funny because I'm like, yeah, like, I know. So it's like, he was like, so what's different? And I'm like, honestly, this coach is the first one that I've ever had who is actually like changed my meals and not just giving me a meal plan that I'm supposed to do for like 9 months or a year, and then like that's it.
Right.
Like he changes it from like monthly for me. And that has been a huge like game changer.
Yeah.
To help my metabolism and everything.
Yeah, because that's I think what the craziest part, just from the outsider's perspective of this just whole journey that you've been through, I think it's because like, obviously this isn't like a stab or anything, but like I think the body transformation that you've gone through since prep has just happened so fast. I think that's why people are like, whoa, dude, you look completely different. And it's like, dude, if you look at it from the beginning of strongman to now, like your body has progressed immensely. So it's like, I think it's just the suddenness, because I mean, you flip the script as far as training and dieting compared to what you've been doing. So the speed in which it's been happening is why everyone's like, oh my, like, oh, it's crazy, where you're like, dude, I've been like crushing it this whole time. I don't know what you're talking about. So I think that's why people look at it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
I like this journey. I've told you, like, off mic and on the phone and stuff, like, I think this is going to be cool. Could it be a future in the sport? Probably. Dude,
these doggies.
It's a puppy reunion, people.
I know.
But the whole journey, I think, is just going to make you like, is it a future in the sport? Probably. Maybe not. I don't know. You're just a natural competitor, so you never know.
Right.
But I think the best part about this is that you're getting to just push limits continuously.
Yeah.
Do you think, is there a future? Do you think you're going after you rock this first show? Do you see yourself, like, I guess my question would be, do you envision yourself continuing on the path of competing in bodybuilding and kind of diving in the space, or is it which I don't think there's a wrong answer, or is it one of those like, hey, it was a fun thing, might do it again, could do it once or twice every now and again.
So it's very interesting because all my friends, they just happen to be coaches, in the sport, and have told me and said, like, hey, you could be really great. I mean, you could do really well. And they said the same thing in strongman. And so for me, I have to keep it in check of my health has to be the priority every day, like with everything, my Epsom salt baths, my, my neck, my chiropractic work, all my stuff, just worked with the muscle medic, and he, Jesse, and he worked on me, and just always making those things a priority. My massages. So it's just like, if I can continue that and stay healthy, then yes. And that's why even with this stuff being hard, I'm like, I'm so grateful that I can move, because there might be a time in my future that like something else happens.
Yeah, for sure.
And I can't move. And, and who knows, or something or whatever. And, I hope not. But for me, I look at it from two perspectives. One, I think you should always be bettering yourself, and you should always have different types of goals, right? But I have seen competitors be so unhealthy to the point with their mindset that, like, they get so fixated. And I did this. I was like, I'm going to make it to the Arnold by this time, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, like all these things. And like, I just don't want to get back to that.
Yeah.
But I think that because I've done this and I've, been in that world, that I have a better insight to be like, okay, no, like I know, I feel like I've learned so much before that all the negatives that I had, I'm turning them into positives for this, where like when I get on stage, it's like, I think everyone's like, hey, just like, and just enjoy it. Like they're like worried that I'll be upset, like not winning or whatever. And it's just like, guys, like, I know that I've done a great job. I know that I look great. I know whatever. So for me, it's like, I'm just excited to do it and represent, my brand, represent setting the example, change the situation, fighting for what you want, all those things. And and look strong.
Yeah.
And be great,
That's one thing that I think strongman competitions.
Strongman, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it.
You're good.
I think that is going to help you, just from the little bit of knowledge I have in the sport, with conditioning and just being able to, like, it's not the easiest thing in the world to stand up there and flex your entire body for 30 seconds, 40 seconds, however long you're up there. So I think that's going to help you. That's going to be a huge part, because that's talking to all my friends that are coaches too. They're like, the number one thing is like, if you can't stand up there the whole time, you're not going to do anything.
And like, and I don't know. I love being on a stage.
Yeah.
Like that was why I kind of want to be at the Arnold.
Do you?
I mean, if anyone's ever watched Move Fit or anything like that,
just kidding.
Then they know, like, that's my vibe. So I was like, oh, you never see on stage. I'm like, no, like I have no problem being in less clothing, like sitting here in sports bra, in my in my stuff or whatever. Like I've never had a problem with that. Clothing has been my problem with my whole life, because they don't fit it's never fit my body. I've had to adjust everything. I'm just saying.
Interesting segue.
You like that? You like that?
Interesting.
And so it's just kind of like, I don't mind those things, and I don't mind the getting glammed up. Like I want to do that. Like I like spray tans, I like jewelry, whatever. I just never get to do it because I'm always working out and always whatever. So
yeah, it's different from the strongman perspective as well. I'm sorry, I keep like beating a dead horse with the strongman stuff, but it's kind of different there because you don't get glammed up for strongman. You get out there and yell.
I would still get like a spray tan and but yeah,
just weird start. Sorry,
I did not spit. I mean, maybe
I had a whole can of dip. I was just chomping, throwing them out.
Dude, but it's funny though, because like when I did strongman, like when I went to my first nationals, I mean, even there, the girls and people were like, oh, like this like spray tan Barbie. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where like I literally never fit in to any spot that I go to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I never really want to either. So when you go back to the introverted, extroverted type of thing with everything, it's like, honestly, feeling free in my body has been the biggest thing that I've always wanted. I have love for it, but to feel free in it where I can just throw on an outfit, throw on an Ambition shirt, whatever, get my work in, then I just feel like it. You don't understand. If you've never gone through that, you don't know how difficult that is. Or,
Yeah, I think, I mean, the hardest it's got to be like, I don't know if it's the hardest part, but standing up in front of those people like that. I mean, we just did a show in Huntsville, Alabama, and Ambition Threads was the sponsor spotlight host.
Yeah.
And I had to get up and like explain what everything was and who these people were. And I was shaking in my boots and sweating and like, I don't like it.
I would so much rather do that than anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to talk to hundreds of thousands of people at one time. And
I think I do.
Yeah.
I do. I just get up there and I'm like, I don't even know where I'm at. You know, I don't even know what day it is, but whatever, it's fine.
I want to rock with it. Like, I love that. I want to be in front of arenas, like, and like doing MoveFit or doing a public speaking event.
Well, I think you're about to be in an arena because this show is the Municipal
Auditorium. Yep,
yeah,
exactly.
That's pretty big. I've seen some pretty big things happen at Municipal, so
yeah,
that's pretty impressive. Are you ready?
I am ready in the sense of like, I have lined my month up. I have taken care of my clients. I am, all those things, right? And with my stuff, I've been just doing it like one day at a time. Like, get through everything you have to do that day. Get through the workout, get through the cardio, get through the, like that kind of thing. So I'm very excited in that regard. I've ordered everything. I got everything booked. Like, so yes. And then actually, fun little surprise. I'm doing the OCB Natural Show the weekend after.
I just filled out a vendor application for that.
What's up? Yeah, there you go. Cool. We'll be there because I'm sponsoring it as well.
Okay.
So it'll be two shows, 2 sponsorships.
That's like two
competing.
That's what, a week apart or 2 weeks apart?
A week
They're a week apart. Yeah.
Yes, which apparently is a good thing. So so it's one of those where I'll do this. It would be really cool. Like the big, like start out big,
right,
and then go to a smaller show, which is in the borough. So represent.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah. So I mean, it'll be very nostalgic, very cool because, like I said, I competed in dance all my life, and we go everywhere. We go to TPAC and get and do these different and Ryman and Opry and all that and dance, and so. And that'll be full circle and like doing a show here in the borough and like representing and like being my brand and being this like, person in the industry. Like it'll all be super cool. And so that is why, and it's my 5-year anniversary of Dandy Fitness all this month.
I mean,
and so it's just, it's super funny how it lined up like that, you know? So I'm very excited. So yes, so I'll do these 2 shows. Afterwards, I'll probably take a break. Not a break, but like keep on doing what I'm doing.
Right.
Food wise and all that and workout wise, but more so like just like kind of a recomp too, to see like, okay, when you are that lean, you definitely have to build more muscle in your backside or more muscle in your legs or whatever,
Right. I think I'm excited for you, man. I talk about it a lot, but I just enjoy and admire other people who hustle. And it is not easy. It's not easy running a business. It's not easy running a business and doing something else. So like you're doing, I don't know what you're doing. It seems like every day or it's something else. I'm just kidding.
I appreciate that.
I enjoy, I just think it's a cool journey because it's different. And I think your audience enjoys it too. I think people are, again, I think I don't want to call it backlash because I don't, people are just people in general.
I think people just, have to, like how it's always been with me is like, I have to present it to them, then they internalize it,
right,
and then they sometimes understand it, but then they're like, so even like the pulling the trucks, people still didn't get that. Like a lot of people were shook with that, and bending steel bars and lifting Atlas stones to my shoulder. They're just like, what? Like how much weight? Huh? Like I don't understand. Like so it's very cool to be able to do different, amazing things.
Right.
And so I feel like this is just no different than that. And I've always considered myself an athlete, and to finally look like an athlete,
it's crazy,
is something that I always wanted.
Right.
Just for sole like purpose of just like, like I do shit. That's really awesome. You know what I mean? Like
I think it's new to everyone else too. So everyone's like, still trying to process it and everything.
Yeah, and that's fine. And everybody can do, it doesn't matter on what they got going on or if they're dealing with their own insecurities or anything like that too. Like, I know it's going to be hard for some people and they may not watch the show or they might not come or whatever because, it is one of those, it's one of those things, like I told you in the very beginning, I always kind of made fun of this thing, the posing. I was like, they don't work hard. Like, I'm a strong woman, you know, I'm lifting heavy stuff. Like, what do you do? Like, but then to like go back and see and actually do this, I'm like, man, like it actually, I mean, it is very hard.
Yeah.
It's very challenging, and it is a completely different vibe, different game, different.
I mean, that's a bit of advice for life in general, is like you never know until you just put the shoes on and figure it out.
Exactly. You know? And that's why like it's so easy to look up and be like, you know, when I watch these shows, there are people in the audience who are like not fit or not like whatever, you know, they just, you know, don't live a healthy lifestyle. And and they'll sit there and Amanda, you're lucky I'm good with dogs now, because before I would have been out of here on this table. So basically I would like listen to them, you know, and they're like, oh yeah, he could have flexed a little bit harder.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude,
like, you know what I mean? But that, again, it's so critiquing, it's so judgmental, it's so whatever. And that is what the sport is. And that's what someone told me earlier today.
That's what I was about to say.
That's what the sport. And here's the thing. I understand that's what the sport is, but I still think we could change the situation in how we look at all of this. Like when I watch the show, I am like, let's go. Like, even if someone looks completely ridiculous out there, you know, they're just all over the place, whatever. I'm like, hey, you got up there. What's good?
Yeah. I
mean,
know
what I mean?
Yeah. That's a little like, yeah, of course, everybody. Yeah. I see what you're saying. I mean, there's always going to be fanatics of the sport. You know, like I didn't do nearly what I wanted to do in dirt bikes, but I'll go to a dirt bike race now and be like, he could have done that, or he could have, you know.
Right.
So there's a level there. You got to have the yin to the yang.
Yeah.
But no, that don't take away from the crazy hard level.
Right. And also I want, with this body positive sponsorship, I want the girls to like understand and like know that, like, you know, what I keep imagining is a lot of people crying backstage, or I keep imagining like a lot of people being, you know, feeling less than or not good enough because maybe they don't win, or they don't get what they placed or what they thought, or whatever it might be. Right. I mean, like, that's why I continue to make small goals throughout this whole thing. Like this is actually a big goal, but I had it for the past 10 years. I wanted to be under 20% body fat because, one, I had never been under 20% body fat. And back in the day, everyone always used to say like an athlete was under 20% body fat or whatever. And I was like, man, that just sounds really cool. And even with strongman, I was like 24%. So I was like, that'd be awesome. And I hit that. And that was like a month ago, you know, and that wasn't even really like in my cut of stuff. So I felt like, man, that I could like be attainable. That's super fun, you know, and awesome. And so that meant a lot to me. And then from there, it was like, you know, just a couple other goals, like to stay healthy, you know, with that, and with my body dysmorphia that I had growing up, you know, I do take a lot of pictures and I do a lot of those things, but that's a lot of times for me for like memory purposes. But, you know, the body dysmorphia stuff, I definitely feel like I've kept in check. And just like really trying to see myself, and not how others, you know, see, or how I look at my poses, like knowing that like I'm posed here, like that's a pose, right? And but knowing that like this is who I am, like this is what I look like, you know. And so that's been really cool, and really special. And then like I said, and not letting the weight get to me. Like every time I get on the scale, before I get on the scale, because of the prep, you know, I have to monitor that more than I would like to. You know, usually with the scale, I'm like, I don't care, like once a month or once every quarter. I just never really cared and whatever about the number. But because of this, we're tracking, so we have to see. I always look at myself first in the mirror, and I'm like, I find something beautiful about myself. You know, I say like, man, like your arms are looking ripped, or your core is so tight, or whatever. And then I get on the scale. And a lot of times I'm like, F you scale, you know, and I'll like flip it off and I'm like, okay. Or just because I hate that whole thing about it because of the negative connotation that everyone has when it comes to a number. Right. But letting that number define me is not, I don't let it define me. It can be as simple as I had a goal for body fat, and like, the body fat, I met it, like that doesn't define me. I don't walk around and be like, oh yeah, like, you know, like
nothing, but I am
like
16% body fat.
But do you see what I'm saying? Like, let it define you. Like, and this is something I want to talk about on the podcast, and I will talk about more. But even like videos that I've watched, like when someone says that they're an FAT person, they're like, oh, not all FAT people are like this, whatever. And I'm like, do you hear people sitting on TikTok or sitting on whatever saying, oh, well, SKINNY people, we all feel like this, and we all like, nobody talks like that.
Interesting.
Like, you have identified as that is your
Yeah.
identifier to your core.
Right.
And even at my biggest, I never identified as that.
Really?
I do not identify as an obese person,
Right.
as a FAT person. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Like, I always valued the muscle I had. I always valued everything, like the
You just saw
positives
the
that I had.
good. Saw the good.
Yeah,
that
of
makes
course.
sense.
And so it was one of those, and I didn't have any diabetes, any heart
Right.
issues, nothing. Like, so it's just one of those things where like I was like healthy and
Right.
I am healthy now. So there should have never been a problem with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Right.
but because there always was, it's whatever. But that's why I always wanted to be clear on like, I don't identify myself as that. Now with strongman, I kind of did get in the sport and I was like, oh yeah, I'm a strong woman competitor. And I kind of identified as like, yeah, strong woman of Nashville with that title. So looking back at that now, it's like, okay, I don't know when you talk about getting into the competitions and stuff, it's like, I want to go into it, but like, I don't want that to be my identifier.
Right. Right. That makes sense.
And not because it's bad or it's good. I think we can change the situation with it, but just because like, you know what I'm saying?
No, it makes sense because you don't want to fly one flag.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you're doing.
And I mean, we talk about with business and stuff like that and like having that balance and things. And it's like, you know, like, I don't know, for me, I just want to be like,
Just
I'll say it like
look,
Danielle, like, you know what I mean? Like, I know, I went there,
Danielle.
I went there, but like, but you know what I mean? Like, it's on some level, it's just like Danielle really wants to do this competition.
Yeah, it's the same conversation we had the other day about like, I just want to do cool stuff. Like, I don't want to be labeled as like that, this, the other. It's like, I'm just gonna do it all. I'll figure out what I like eventually.
Yeah, and this could be something, like I said, I try it and I'm like, because that was how strongman was. I didn't know if it was going to be great or not, and then I won, and then it was like, oh, like let's go to the next thing, and then won again. Like it's just like it. So it was really cool with that momentum of everything. So yeah, with this, it just all depends on like how I feel too.
Yeah.
I may get off there and be like, let's go, like, you know,
again.
Yeah. Or it's gonna be like, man, that was hard work. That was a lot of fun. Had a good day. All right. I was here for the girls. I was here for,
pull the positivity out of it.
Yeah. And then
close that book and
someone give me a cookie and like, let's, go. And the next day I'm gonna wake up and do my cardio.
On that note, do you have something in mind to eat right after the show? The moment you step off stage, are you thinking about crumble?
No, see, I don't like that stuff, man.
I don't like crumble cookies. Look,
no, I don't like
not a popular opinion.
I don't like
crumble cookies.
Okay, here's another thing too. I do want to say, I have looked at, like, I have hyped things up in my life, and a lot of times it has been food. Okay. And I've said, like, when I made it to after nationals, I said, after nationals, I'm going to go to $5 bakery. Everyone talks about that. I want a donut. That would be amazing. Right. I went there and it sucked. Now, here's the thing. Was it because my expectations were too high?
Probably.
Or was it because they actually sucked? So here's the deal. I could have been happy with my $2 donut country half dozen. You know what I mean? Here in the borough, like,
if I can say, donut country is far more superior than $5.
100%.
Again,
but
unpopular.
Again, super bad for you, obviously. But but I used to have them.
I
used to have them when I was a child, and my dad would get me 2 bags of the dozen, half dozen or whatever. No, it was dozen of the half donuts or holes. And what would happen was he'd say, "Share these with your, with your friends."
And you were like, "Probably not."
And I definitely didn't share them with a damn soul up in there.
What would be the point of that?
I mean, no, exactly. I guess to make friends, but I was like, I'll make friends another way. Not just not giving them my food. But so basically it's like one of those things where, like, even like there's been recent things where I'm like, man, and I hype these things up. So for me, it's going to be like this. We're probably going to go to like Tailgate Brewery afterwards, and I'm going to have my people bring me stuff there. So like the alpha cookies and like,
I thought you were about to be like, yeah, we're going to bring in like some chicken and rice and maybe some broccoli. I would open hand slap you.
Oh yeah. I would let you. No, I'm saying like bring the food, like a chicken cheese quesadilla from Chipotle or something, like, because basically for me, it's like, I don't even want, like, when I'm thinking about a whole meal, like, I'm not thinking about it. Like, I just want like bites of stuff, if that makes sense at this point. Like, I want
smorgasbord.
Yeah, like a buffet type of deal where it's like.
So we're going to Golden Corral.
That's kind of
right after the show.
Kind of like the vibe.
Getting a fillet.
that could change, you know what I mean? Like, and I can get there or whatever, because even with strongman, I would wake up like and I eat like, sometimes I would have like a big breakfast before a certain show or whatever. But most of the time I was like, I ate oatmeal and then I went to the competition. Literally when I flipped that tire, you know what I had ate that day? Oatmeal in the morning and a grab the gold bar. I couldn't eat when we were competing.
Gosh, those
I
grab the gold
tried.
bars are delicious.
I know. I could try to like eat some chicken. I couldn't eat because I was just so nervous and like so like whatever that like I don't even really like I know I'll eat for this like my regular meals throughout the day. So it's not a problem. But at night, when we were done, we would just go eat pizza and that was it. So it's like I keep hyping it up and telling everybody, I want this, I want that, I want whatever. It's like truthfully, like it's gonna be a couple things and
Snickers
then
bar
and like
would be great.
uh, yeah, I used to like Snickers bar back in the day, but nah. Nah. If we I know I'm weird. I'm so weird. A Reese's cup would be cool. I like those, but
Interesting.
Well,
listen, I've said it a million times. I'm pumped.
Yeah,
I can't wait for the journey, or not the journey, but the show. I think if you want my honest opinion, I think there's way more. Like this is just opening up a can of worms, and you're gonna get the bug. That's honestly what's making me drag my feet on all this other stuff that I've talked about. Was just like, gosh, I commit to a lot of things today. But once I start, I'm gonna start.
Yeah.
Because we had talked the other day. I'm taking a stab at this influencer stuff just because it's brand building, but it's also just super fun. Yeah, so that's why I drag my feet on it, because I'm like, dang it, man, I'm definitely going to do a mountain bike race, and that's going to make me fall in love, and then I'm going to spend $10,000 on a dirt bike and get a dirt bike racing, and then ruin my family. And I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
But you never know until you try it, and I never want to live my life with regrets. And even though I've dealt with pain every day for the past 2 years, from the incident and everything, I still would never give up the time that I had doing strongman.
Yeah.
And not for notoriety or not for any purpose of that, but how I felt so capable when I lifted and when I finally believed in myself, that I knew forever, even from a young age, that I was strong and stronger than most women. You know what I mean? And just and some men, and it's one of those things where it was like I knew I was different. I was built different, and God put me on this earth with the legs that I have and the structure that I have and all the, whatever. So like I wanted to capitalize on it. And so I never will look back and say like that was a bad thing or whatever. Even with competitive dance and getting the fracture in my back originally, like all of it has been amazing.
And it's almost worse. You're 85 years old on your bed. It's way worse to be like, man, I wish I'd have done that one bodybuilding show, than just to say, man, I can't feel my back, my arms are numb, I have no legs.
If anything, it's just me like stepping out of my comfort zone once again. And that's what Dani Fitness is all about, and that's what this podcast, that's being vulnerable and talking more about things that I don't get to do to talk about on my stories or on Instagram or whatever. And like, and yeah, I mean, it's just I really do think that so many people live their life to appease others, and they're like, why even bother? Why try? Why whatever? And I get that. And I sit there too some mornings and I'm like, well, shit, like, if I'm not ready by the show, why bother? Let's just go eat, right? But then it's like, you never know what happens until you get out there.
100%.
I mean, I wasn't with the Strong Woman of Nashville stuff, like I wasn't picked to win. If people were like putting out bets, they bet this other girl. Nobody thought that I was going to beat her.
It's all about the hustle, man.
But that day she came in, she was mentally not there.
Lock it up.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, and so you just never know. And like, and again, it's like people can predict whatever they want, but at the end of the day, it's like, it's you versus you, and gonna have fun. And that's my goal, to be completely like mentally sound, physically sound, even if I'm exhausted, even if whatever, and just like have the best time, because that's the fun part. The show is the fun part.
Yeah,
people forget that.
It's the same thing my dad used to tell me. You train in hell to race in heaven. So it's a lot easier to compete after you've spent 12 years grinding your teeth in. It's a lot easier because race day, competition day, whatever you call it, that's the easiest part. Because right now when you're having to do 2.5 hours of cardio or eat asparagus and tilapia and just
It's not that bad.
I would disagree strongly.
And like I said, I've literally been in my healthy lifestyle for 10 years now, and I've been on a meal plan of some sort of like that for that long.
Shout out to my friend Charles Rucker, because you guys are the only two people that I've ever met in my life that every time I've seen you in the last 10 years, I'm like, hey, what's going on, man? You want to go get a bite to eat? Hey, Danny, you want to get a bite? I'm in prep. I'm like, what are you prepping for? You're in prep for 6 years?
Yeah, we talked at the show in Chattanooga or whatever, and like he was real cool, and just listening to him and whatever. And we kind of got that same grind mindset and that same,
If you want to talk to him about longevity of prep, you should ask him, because I'm not joking. I've known Charles for about 10 or 11 years. He's been in prep since I've known him.
Yeah.
I've had one cheeseburger with him in 10 years.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
And I bet he still has had incredible things happen in his life.
I mean, dude's crushing.
Like it's so I think people think about like, oh, that's restricted and no, this whatever. I think that people live in gluttony and people live in excess a lot of times.
That's so not to get it in another rabbit hole, but that's a lot of society problem right now.
So yeah, so it's just kind of like on some level, like, I mean, I feel it, like I get it.
Yeah.
But in some of that stuff I just didn't enjoy.
Right.
Like with the drinking and everything. Yeah. So it's like, you got to find what you really love. And like,
well, it's easy. You know, once you're obsessed with something, it's easy to give up drinking or bad habits.
Really for me, after this is done, like if he's like, hey, for your you can have a free meal or whatever it is, really and truly,
I'm gonna get some Brussels sprouts.
No, I'm gonna go to the movies and eat some popcorn. That is what I like to do. That unhealthy popcorn.
That's awesome.
That's like my deal.
Just so all like, that butter.
Yeah, like that would be cool. That's like an event to me. That's like a moment versus I like sat here and ate my burger and fries. It's like,
although I mean, huge burger fry guy, right here.
I know you are.
Let's talk about probably really the only main reason why like you're who you are is Ambition Threads.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
I'm kidding.
Saw an ad one day and it was like, oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's me. So back, Danny, to preface, Danny and I have been friends for way too long, probably 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And always wanted to work together, always, have worked together in the past on Dani D stuff and stuff like that. And with this rebrand of Ambition Threads, we really, our main focus right now is just making sick men's apparel.
Mm-hmm.
We had a meeting, me and my co-founder Ryan, we're talking all this stuff, we're coming up with concepts, new products, blah blah blah, and we're like talking about people who represent like the brand and things like that. And obviously we're talking about a big 5-year plan of like, we're gonna have this piece, this person's a part of the brand, this person's a part of the brand, and Dani D's name kept coming up. So we were like, dude, like, yeah, we're not pushing for the men's stuff right now. We should, kind of lay down and just, or excuse me, not pushing for the women's stuff. Yeah. And it just kept going. The more and more we talk, obviously I'm a fan of the hustle and of all the stuff that you got going. So we are, this is the first time I think we're airing this. I don't know when this podcast drops. I don't even know what day it is today.
Right.
But we are dropping a oversized line.
Yep.
2 t-shirts, one of which is inspoed by the great Danielle.
I love it. I love it.
Isn't your middle name
Dupree?
Mm-hmm. So it's Triple D.
Yep.
And me. Yeah. So we were, and I wanted to. I brought you the product because it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Trent, can you see my hand right here? Sorry. Wait, so you can't see me?
You can see him, yeah.
Oh, so like new product. All I'm going to show is like this.
Yeah.
Here.
Mm-hmm. The blue.
Because it's blue, obviously, because of Dani D.
Looks great.
Oversized. This is our actually first product that's printed and created in the United States, which is pretty impressive.
I love that.
I might add.
Mm-hmm.
So we really, for this show, it's pretty, I think another reason why I'm invested in the journey is because of obviously this and stuff that we're doing. So I said all that to say, I appreciate you being Dani D, Triple D, Double D, whatever you call it. And yeah, I'm really excited to just kind of see not only on our the business and the product side of things, but I'm interested to see where this goes. Cause again, it's opening a door, for your personal brand, but it's also opening doors for businesses and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see all this. I'm pumped.
I appreciate it. And I love that you always believe in me. And, and again, I always will help and support local brands and businesses. And that's why I use, most of my friends' stuff and wear their stuff and whatever. Cause I mean, I do not, if I don't like it, like I don't wear it.
Right.
You know, I mean, and I'm pretty real about it and stuff. And so it's one of those where it's like I will tell people like how it is
Yeah.
every time. So for me, like any you know partnerships and everything like that, like I'm always on board and everything like that. But I think this will be cool because, like I said, I never, for me personally, when it comes to oversized t-shirts, and there's a lot of women listening, like, like if they, especially if they're already like, if no, but listen, if they're like already a larger size, and they're like, I don't really want to wear a big baggy t-shirt or whatever. And I'm like, I feel you, like I get it, I was there, I understand. But the feeling that I've had this past year of being able to like throw on a t-shirt, like rock it out, like it looks good, the vibe, because I've had some of your other ones I've worn, and sweat in it and just be like, let's get it. There was nothing more motivating, you know what I mean? And so then from there, it's like now having the shape and the body size I do to wear a shirt like that and not feel like I just am like a box, you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain that. Like,
No,
but
I know what you
to
mean.
feel like I don't look like, still like I don't know, sexy and athletic and whatever. It's super, super, super cool. Everybody's having some energy today. I love it. But yeah, so I'm really excited about it, and it'll be really great. And we'll have that photo shoot, and we'll have all that going on too. So that'll be good. So stay tuned for the launch of all that, guys.
Yeah.
And make sure to to get you. So I don't know how we're gonna do it. I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna post about it, and we're gonna like.
I mean, hopefully we may post about it. Yeah, I don't know.
Like, is it?
Yeah. So tomorrow's a full content day. We're gonna shoot some stuff. But yeah, we're kind of just running a campaign on what ambition truly is. So to branch quickly off of, when you sweat in a shirt and you feel good about yourself, that's basically ambition in a nutshell. It's more or less like, it's not really a t-shirt brand. It's not really a clothing brand. It's more of a confidence brand. It's like once you wear this, it's like, man, I could take over the world. There's been several people I've heard lately of like, yeah, but you don't feel that in t-shirts. And I'm like, well, then you've never had the right t-shirt.
Right.
You've never had the right hat. You never had the right pants, shoes, whatever. So that's what we're going to portray with this whole message is again, it's about stepping out of your comfort zone and tackling something that's bigger than yourself. And that's basically why we're doing this show and why we're doing all these things. So it's going to be fun. You're going to see it. We got some sneak peeks dropping next week, and then the product will launch. So we'll do a pre-order for the product for an exclusive email list on our website.
Awesome.
We will launch that product for those people the week of the show, and then the Friday of the show will launch.
Awesome.
So that's, I think, the plan. Ryan's probably like going to watch this and be like, dude, you were wrong.
Right. Yeah.
But either way,
guys, there is a plan, and it'll be good, and we will get it out there to you. So in support of the shirt will be amazing. In support of my mission.
Support your girl Dani D by buying a blue tie-dye shirt.
That's what I'm saying. Like, hey, it'll be cool. It'll be cool. So I
appreciate you allowing me to get back on the swing of things, because I had to knock the dust off these boots to get in the podcast.
Hey,
so
I love having you around, like I said, Tyler, and it means a lot. Like, it really does. And just to have, you to have to talk and relate to and everything like that, like that grind, we're around the same age, just like it's really been cool to have a friend like you.
I think we are a week apart.
Are we a week apart?
You're 29?
Mm-hmm.
Like 29?
Mm-hmm.
When's your birthday?
July 7th.
Yeah,
yours was July 13th. Yeah.
We're literally a week apart.
Wow. So I'm like a week older than you?
I wouldn't call it that. Mentally, I'm a little bit older. But
doubtful. Everybody at home.
Ultimately, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for making me feel as if I am more of the man than I am. Because I'm going to be honest, I'm just 5'7". Okay. Not really much to show.
You're ridiculous.
But I am getting fit. So
yeah, you are. You're fighting for what you want.
Could be stepping on stage soon.
Hey, loving your body. I get it. I love it.
I wouldn't go that far yet, but yeah, we're getting there.
Hey, you need love for your body too. Just like,
I'm working
it's not just a female mantra. It's for everybody, So awesome. All right, guys. Stay tuned for more, and we'll talk to you next time.